This is the reality of modern security. Threats hide within massive, unstructured streams of information, making total visibility your only defense. The enterprise attack surface has expanded far beyond a simple perimeter. Securing it requires pulling in vast amounts of new telemetry from every corner of your infrastructure. We are talking about continuous, heavy data streams, cloud audit logs, endpoint telemetry, network flows, identity events, and application logs. Detection quality relies entirely on data coverage. The more you collect, the better you can detect an anomaly. But this creates an economic paradox. As seen here, while you pour necessary telemetry into your systems, traditional SIEM pricing models scale aggressively alongside that volume. The rate of data generation is explosive and impossible to control, while the average security budget remains static. This creates a perverse dynamic. SecOps teams are effectively penalized financially for doing their jobs well. Every new log source that improves their security posture pushes the bill higher. The underlying business model of traditional SIEMs is structurally opposed to the operational survival of the teams using them. To keep costs from spiraling out of control, security leaders are frequently forced into a dangerous compromise: filtering. Filtering means deciding in advance which log sources might be important and intentionally dropping the rest before they ever reach the SIEM. The secondary compromise is artificially shortening retention windows. Teams will force the deletion of historical logs after 30 or 90 days, purely to save on storage. In standard IT observability, issues are usually immediate. A server crashes, you investigate, you fix it. But security investigations often stretch across vast, complex timelines. This is because of the low-frequency, long-tail attack. Advanced threat actors operate slowly, moving laterally over months, specifically to evade volume-based detection algorithms. When you drop telemetry and shorten retention windows, you create blind spots. These long-tail attackers actively hide in the exact data you threw away. If you attempt to solve a SIEM budget crisis by lowering coverage, you guarantee that you will miss the attack. The only viable path forward is to structurally lower your cost per byte. To fix this, we have to look closely at the standard cloud security pipeline and identify where the money is actually bleeding. Look at this schematic. Telemetry natively generates continuous data streams within your local cloud environment. The first massive hidden cost hits immediately. Egress fees are incurred the exact moment data leaves for a third-party SaaS platform. Cloud providers charge a premium tax simply for the privilege of moving your own data out of their network. Next comes the second cost center. As soon as the data hits the SaaS destination, it triggers ingest limits and compute-based pricing models. These external vendors charge you based on the gigabytes per day processed, or the heavy compute power required to index that incoming stream. Then comes the third cost center, hot storage. Strict limits punish long-term retention, forcing the constant deletion of older, valuable logs. Moving that data to cold storage might seem cheaper, but if you need to rehydrate those logs for a historical investigation, you are hit with massive re-ingestion fees. Egress fees, ingest limits, and storage quotas have absolutely nothing to do with the actual work of finding threats. Shipping security data to an external platform is an inherently flawed architecture. It extracts rent on data logistics rather than providing actual security value. To eliminate these logistical costs, we must decouple the volume of the data from the cost of storing it. The architectural goal is straightforward. Keep the security data exactly where it is generated, inside your local cloud environment. The primary mechanical vehicle for neutralizing these storage costs is lossless compression. Security logs are uniquely suited for this technique. Because the data is highly repetitive and text-heavy, it compresses exceptionally well. As demonstrated, this allows the physical footprint of the data to shrink by an order of magnitude. The crucial term is lossless. While the footprint shrinks up to 90%, zero events, fields, or fidelity are dropped. This has an immediate impact on your cloud infrastructure bill, completely eliminating the requirement for massive hot storage clusters. It also solves the compliance problem. Multi-year mandated retention turns from a budget crisis into an easily affordable baseline. Compare this affordable total retention with the forced deletion compromise we discussed earlier. By applying advanced observability compression to security data, the financial penalty for maintaining 100% total data coverage is neutralized. This brings us to a final technical hurdle. How does a security team actually run high-speed correlations on data that is highly compressed and sitting in raw cloud storage? This is the exact problem the Sasquatch Labs architecture solves, using a dedicated security layer called Yeti. In this architectural model, Yeti is engineered to operate directly on the compressed in-cloud data. It executes detections natively, without ever needing to rehydrate the logs. For deep, human-led investigations across this compressed data, the system utilizes the Snowman query engine. And running on top of that in-place query engine is the Signal Agentic AI layer, which provides automated intelligence. Analysts do not need to learn a new proprietary language to use these tools. The system natively translates SPL, KQL, and LogQL. The economic benefit of this workflow is absolute. Because queries happen in place, there are zero re-ingestion fees and zero wait times for data rehydration. It is technically and mathematically possible to run high-speed, full-fidelity security analytics natively within your own cloud, completely severing your reliance on SaaS analytics engines. Let's compare the total economic footprint on this split screen. On the left is the traditional, leaky SaaS pipeline. On the right is the closed-loop Sasquatch Labs architecture. The first pillar of savings is the massive baseline reduction in your cloud footprint, achieved through order-of-magnitude compression. The second and third pillars are the total elimination of SaaS transfer egress fees and the normalization of long-term retention costs. And the fourth pillar is the elimination of query penalties, allowing for unlimited investigations without generating new bills. Achieving true SIEM cost reduction requires a strict architectural transformation, not just negotiating a slightly better licensing tier with a SaaS vendor. Security leaders are too often presented with a false choice: protect the budget or maintain total visibility. But preserving investigation depth into the low-frequency long tail is the only reliable way to catch advanced threat actors. For organizations, particularly those in regulated industries seeking a viable Splunk alternative, Sasquatch Labs provides a comprehensive observability and security intelligence solution. If your SIEM bill is forcing hard choices about which security logs to keep, the lever to pull is cost per byte, not coverage.